If someone's in a low income bracket, typically there's not a ton of disposable income unless they're living at home, right? In which case then there's a big opportunity to save and accumulate. But if they're living on their own, expenses are high, there's not a lot that can be done, especially if there's high debts outstanding or liabilities, right? So it's important to evaluate the cash flow strategy, see if there's anything in there that gives us some opportunity. So maybe they're overpaying on rent, maybe they're overpaying on their utilities, maybe they're overspending and they're being frivolous and they're not realizing it. Maybe there's a gym membership that could be a bit cheaper, which now activates $50 a month in savings, which is gonna help the overall situation long term. But sometimes it really does come down to making more money, because you can move the puzzle pieces as much as you want, but sometimes you really do need to look for opportunities to actually bring in more. I think sometimes as a financial planner, we're afraid to tell our clients you need to try to earn more income, but it really is, in a lot of times, the only major strategy that's going to have a large financial impact on a client. What I've found when I've gently recommended that to my clients is that they do find it. The second that they say, okay, Sarah suggested I need at least a $20,000 annual increase in my income. Now they start, mentioning to their superiors that they're looking for promotions. They start putting the wheels in motion, networking, and the opportunities do come. The biggest thing I see when people have high levels of debt, so I'm going to classify that as anything over $5,000 outstanding outside of a mortgage. Okay, so anything on a credit card, line of credit, anything over $5,000. That's typically the biggest mistake I see, is that they're paying everything they can towards it every month. So they're throwing everything at it. So everything that they have as disposable income, they're putting towards their debt repayment. What happens with that strategy is that it sounds really good and it's very well intended, but in reality, it causes a bit of a hamster wheel effect. So what's happening now is all of a sudden you're putting all your disposable income towards your debt, but if something else pops up, like a car repair or a wedding that you have to attend, now all of a sudden you need some extra funds, you're now putting that back on the credit card or back in that circular debt piece. So what I say ideally is an 80-20 or a 70-30 split. So 80% emphasis on debt repayment. It's still the majority of what you're focusing on, but that 20% should go towards savings as well, either just in a regular high interest savings account or a TFSA, something that's accessible in the event of those emergencies, so you're not reusing that debt that you just paid off.